Neuro-linguistic programming. My name is Dina Westermeyer. The purpose of this presentation is to illustrate how neuro-linguistic programming can change the trajectory of an individual's personal and professional life. The class is Exploring the Self, Increasing the Efficiency and Helping Others from the University of Arizona Global Campus. Dr. Majors is the instructor. Presentation overview. We will understand the purpose and foundation of NLP in modern business and personal growth, define NLP and explore its connections to Maslow's concept of self-transcendence, identify why self-awareness is essential in today's complex environments, explore core NLP tools anchoring, reframing, meta model, circle of excellence, and future pacing. Each will be followed by audio. Review how NLP supports emotional confidence, learn how NLP tools can be applied in the workplace and support professional leadership, match the right NLP tool to the right personal or team goal, discover how NLP scales from personal development to whole team culture change, examine research-based outcomes and evidence supporting NLP practices, apply NLP to build inclusion, empathy, and perspective taking in diverse teams, wrap up with key takeaways and reflections for immediate implementation. Rewiring the mind, NLP for growth and awareness. Business environments require both administrators and employees to reflect inward and operate from a higher sense of self, a trait that has become increasingly valuable in today's market. With globalization, it's more important than ever to attune oneself to a deeper level of awareness. Cultural and environmental sensitivities are now at the forefront. Neuro-linguistic programming, or NLP, is a process that allows individuals to rewrite thoughts and beliefs, which may otherwise lead to unwanted biases, actions, and behaviors. Nisha, 2024, Garcia Romeo, 2010. Framework for thought, language, and behavior. At the highest level of Maslow's hierarchy of human growth is self-transcendence, which represents a shift from thinking about oneself to acting on a higher purpose. Garcia Romeo, 2010. NLP offers a set of practical tools that can quietly initiate progress toward higher-level personal development. NLP offers a flexible, evidence-informed approach that promotes professional performance while also creating space for individuals to build self-awareness, shift internal beliefs, and experience elements of self-transcendence. NLP is a tool for improvement that fosters self-awareness. Techniques used such as reframing, anchoring, and visualization, employed across studies by Taha and Associates 2025, and Joshomia and Associates 2024, and Gashi 2024, engage individuals in reflecting processes that increase confidence and internal regulation. Why self-awareness is essential in complex times. As the world becomes increasingly fast-paced and complex, so does the need for individuals who can think critically, lead with purpose, and adapt with awareness. NLP offers a flexible, evidence-informed approach that promotes personal and professional performance while creating space for individuals to build self-awareness, shift internal beliefs, and experience elements of self-transcendence. When individuals learn to detect and change limiting habits, it has a ripple effect on how they work within teams, which helps teams work together, communicate with each other, and support one another. To transcend, one must learn how to overcome the ego, live an altruistic life, attain spiritual enlightenment, and achieve the highest level of development, according to Maslow, Garcia Romeo. For example, in one study, students practiced various methods to enhance their academic performance, which they achieved. This approach also helped them become more confident in themselves and their ability to respond to questions and build relationships. Taha and Associates, and Joshomia and Associates 2024. Within the umbrella of NLP is reframing, which helps individuals reinterpret negative thought patterns and dialogues and enables them to replace the thoughts with thoughts that build Awareness, confidence, and regulate emotions. IBS 20 and Associates 2024. Following this slide, Mr. Clayton will tell us how reframing works.
Hurt my leg and I can't. Bad news. I've hurt my leg and I can't do my favourite sport at the weekends for 8 weeks. Good news. I'll have plenty of time to make a great start on that language course that I've wanted to do for a long time. That was reframing. It's putting an event or an experience or a situation into a new context to see it in a different way. The term reframing may seem unfamiliar or even technical, but the concept it represents will be very familiar to everyone. Metaphors and analogies are reframes, and that means many stories are too. A joke is a reframe which is surprising and pleasing, at the same time as also being unexpected. And many inventions take one or more ideas and they reframe them into a different context. But for our purpose, a reframe is nothing more than a great way to help someone to see an event or a situation in a different and more helpful way. Some of my team are performing badly and I'm feeling dreadful. You could reframe the significance. But what aspects of those people's work are going well? You could reframe with a metaphor. Developing a team is a bit like learning to cook. You could reframe the connection. Do you need to feel dreadful just because some of your team are performing badly? You could reframe the assessment. How badly are they really doing? You could reframe the time perspective. It's just a stage that all teams go through. You could reframe the meaning. It just means that you care about their work. You could reframe the significance. But how is the team doing as a whole? Or you could reframe the outcome. How can this be a learning experience for the whole team? These reframes have fallen into two groups. The first group reframed the content. That is, they took a fresh look at the substance of the experience. The second group reframed the context. That is, they accepted the content, but placed it into a new, different context. In this new context, the implications of the content were different. The content has a different meaning in a different context. As a manager, reframing is a powerful way to help your teams, your clients, your customers, your colleagues, and your other stakeholders to see things in a different way. There are so many situations in which this simple idea is useful that I think this is one of the most important and valuable things I learned when I studied NLP.
One of the most effective ways to introduce NLP in the workplace is to make sure that each strategy is linked to a specific goal. Anchoring practices help individuals stay grounded during times of stress or conflict. Taha and Associates 2025. The Circle of Excellence enables individuals to enter a mental environment where they can embody their best attributes. Gashi 2024. This is designed to boost confidence, particularly among new leaders. Reframing and meta-model language work are effective in addressing conflict or transforming a culture that focuses on blame into one that prioritizes problem solving. Techniques such as personalization and future pacing enable employees to mentally rehearse achieving their goals and align their daily tasks accordingly. These tools are adaptable to each person's pace and motivation. They're flexible tools that work at their own pace. Following this slide, we'll hear a step-by-step of the NLP anchoring technique.
Do you ever wish that you could flip a switch and instantly feel motivated to hit the gym, to focus on work, or even stay calm under pressure? Well, what if I told you there's a psychological trick that lets you do just that? And it's called NLP anchoring, and it's backed by neuroscience. So today, I'm going to show you how to program your brain to make habits automatic, so you can stop relying on willpower and start seeing real change. All right, so what is NLP anchoring? It's a brain hack, essentially, that connects a specific trigger, like a sound, a touch, or a movement, with a powerful emotional state. Now, I want you to think about hearing your favorite workout song and immediately feeling pumped, or how the smell of fresh coffee puts you in morning productivity mode. That is NLP anchoring in action. It works because your brain is constantly wiring connections between experiences and emotions. The goal? To use this natural process to your advantage and intentionally program triggers to make good habits effortless. Now, when you repeat an action alongside a strong emotion, your brain reinforces those neural connections. And over time, the behavior becomes automatic. It's like brushing your teeth or checking your phone first thing in the morning. Yeah, you probably do that too. So why NLP works essentially is for a number of reasons. Number one, neuroplasticity. Your brain rewires itself based on repeated experiences. Dopamine release, positive emotions reinforce habits, making them more likely to stick. And also cue routine reward cycle. Just like habits form naturally, anchoring hacks this system to work in your favor. Okay, so now for the fun part. Let's set up your first anchor here now. So here's a step-by-step guide to hacking your brain, essentially. Number one, choose your trigger. You want to pick something simple and also repeatable, something like clenching your fist or tapping on your wrist or hearing a specific sound. Now, step number two is to recall a very powerful emotion. Think back to a time when you felt really confident, motivated, or completely focused. You really want to make it vivid. What were you seeing? What were you feeling? What were you hearing? Now, step number three, we want to link the trigger to the emotion. So as you relive that powerful state, you want to activate that trigger. So if it's clenching your fist, do it right at the peak of the emotional state. Now, step four, you want to repeat and reinforce. The more you do this, the stronger the connection gets. Repetition here is really key. So now that you know how to anchor, here's where you can use this sort of thing. Number one is in public speaking scenarios. You want to anchor confidence before presentations. What about fitness motivation? You can link energy to a specific movement or, for example, a song. You can also use it in study and focus. You can use scents or sounds to trigger a sense of deep concentration. And also reducing anxiety. You can tap into calm states instantly. Now, most people fail at anchoring because they skip these three specific steps. Number one, they use weak emotional intensity. The stronger the emotion, the better the anchor. Also, inconsistent practice. You really need to reinforce the connection in order to get it to stick. Now, also, the last issue is using overlapping triggers. You want to keep these anchors unique to their individual states. So can NLP really help you rewire your brain and build automatic habits? Yep, but like any skill, it requires practice. So you need to start today by picking your trigger, linking it to a powerful state, and reinforcing it with repetition. Now, if you found this helpful,
Meta-model techniques help break limiting belief barriers by enabling the individual to identify and acknowledge their limiting beliefs and distorted thoughts, then replace them with self-empowering thoughts and beliefs, ideas, and associates. NLP initiates this shift by helping individuals become more aware of their internal states and thought patterns, which supports long-term development outcomes consistent with Maslow's theory of transcendence. The next slide will explain how the meta model technique works.
You're using language to unpack detail.
To narrow down on the detail. Without the meta model, we get stuck in this swamp of people's feelings and ideas that are not clarified. And that's when we run into communication difficulties with other people.
Absolutely.
One of the most interesting aspects of NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, is something known as the meta model.
Well, what is the meta model?
Glad you asked, Chris. The meta model uses language to clarify language.
How specifically does it do that?
The way he just did it. So without the meta model, we get stuck in this swamp of people's feelings and ideas that are not clarified. And that's when we run into communication difficulties with other people.
Absolutely. So when you're using the meta model, generally you're using language to unpack detail that would not be there if you didn't use the meta model.
Right. So if I say something like, he drives me crazy.
You say, well, what does he do specifically that drives you crazy?
Yeah, or
when does he drive you?
Or who drives you crazy?
Yeah.
By asking these specific questions, it stops us from mind reading and thinking we understand people. That's why it's very, very important to clarify, because when you use the meta model, it helps the other person nail down their own experience as well.
And that's why it's used therapeutically, right? Because when someone says, well, I just feel horrible all the time.
You say, all the time? Yeah. There's never a single moment that you don't feel horrible?
This is this overarching belief they have, but you unpack it with them and they realize, well, no, not all the time. I mean, when I'm out with my buddies, I feel good. Or when I'm playing volleyball, I feel great.
Right.
But then when I get home and I sit alone, and then you realize, oh, it's because the person maybe doesn't have someone in their life.
And this comes out by challenging that universal quantifier of all the time. And we have to challenge generalizations.
Yes.
All Frenchmen are excellent chefs. What, every single Frenchman is an excellent chef? I don't think so. By challenging with meta model questions, we get to what is known as the deep structure, the heart of the language down below the surface in their unconscious mind.
You raised a really good point, too, that when people use NLP, a lot of the times they get into this point where they think, oh, I can read minds now because I can calibrate. Well, calibration is the opposite of mind reading. You're just looking for difference from baseline. We've talked about that in separate videos. However, with language, you also have to ask clarifying questions so that you're not mind reading.
Right, and it happens with, he's right, it happens with a lot of NLP people. They think that now that they've studied NLP, they can mind read. It gives them a license to. And in reality, it's the opposite. I remember a case where I had my arms folded, and the guy said, it shows that you're close to the conversation. Well, if he said to me, why are you sitting with your arms folded? What's the reason for that? I would have said, well, to stretch out the trapezium muscle because my neck's sore. But he read my mind. Oh, he's close to the conversation. The meta model protects you from that kind of generalization.
So the meta model is words that clarify meaning and information gathering. It's basically, so if somebody said, well, why is your neck sore? And you could say, well, I was doing jiu-jitsu and I overstretched it or something. Well, how specifically did you do that? Who were you with? I mean, not that that's necessarily important, but you're using language to unpack detail.
To narrow down on the detail. If you want to learn more about this, we think the
Another great technique that NLP offers is a circle of excellence, which allows individuals and by extension organizations to create and access their state of excellence. The objective is to set up a powerful anchor, typically visualized as a circle on the ground, where the individual mentally steps into a state of confidence, calm, or peak performance by recalling a specific moment when they felt those emotions strongly. This technique helps individuals internalize and reproduce that state at will, building confidence and creating a repeatable pattern for future success. Global Training NLP 2016. Those in leadership positions, as well as those who want to advance within the company, can benefit from the circle of excellence by using it to access their ideal mindset during high-stakes situations, such as presentations, interviews, or decision-making moments. It trains the mind to return to an empowered, focused state, which supports both personal growth and professional performance. The next slide will explain how the circle of excellence, or column of excellence, which is what Mike Mandel calls it.
I'm Mike Mandel, and today I want to teach you a very, very cool technique that can be transformational in your life. It's an NLP technique, neuro-linguistic programming, and I'm an NLP trainer. It's called Circle of Excellence, or Column of Excellence, which is the newest incarnation of it, which I prefer. So we'll call it Column of Excellence because a circle is flat, whereas a column is three-dimensional. It just seems better somehow. Column of Excellence is a great way of getting into a very, very powerful, resourceful state whenever you need to. And here's how you do it. It's done mostly in your imagination, but you do need to move your physical body. I won't do the moving because I'm in front of a camera. You can imagine it. Imagine in front of you is a column, almost like a huge laser. and it's maybe 3 feet wide or a meter wide, and it's going from the ground, a circle on the ground, up through the ceiling, whatever. And you're going to stand back from this column, so you're not in it. And in that column, put another you. Someone who looks like you in your imagination, everything about that other you. But make it you at your best. See yourself in that, standing strong, feeling powerful, looking really fit, feeling amazing, breathing deeply, and start to build into that column all the resources you want that other you to have. See the person as powerful, congruent, all these different things, but then start to think of other stuff that's you at your best. Put kindness in there and see what color becomes the center of it all. Put something like physical strength, put imagination, and you can just think of each one of these things and imagine this column changing to accommodate that new resource going in there. So I could put mental force or concentration or confidence, and each one I imagine going in there, adding a color to this column of light that is around the other you, and it's getting stronger and more vibrant, and you're still standing outside it. And when you've got this column exactly the way you want it to be, which only takes a minute or two, guess what you do? Suddenly, abruptly, step in and take it all on. Breathe it in, breathe the color in, feel it from the inside, and you will change your state instantly and make all of these things available to your conscious awareness. What you are doing is not power of suggestion. This has sound neuroscience behind it, and you are actually changing the structure of your brain and causing this to work. And then once you've got all you need, you breathe all this color in and this power, you can step outside and in your mind just fold up this circle and put it in your pocket. And anytime you need it, take it out, throw it down in front of you, the column will form, and step back in. It's a quick way of changing states whenever you need to. And guess what? It'll be in whatever clothes you're wearing at the time. It will change pockets for you automatically. Circle of excellence, column of excellence. It's an amazing thing. I've been doing this since about 1993, and it is powerful.
The last NLP technique for this presentation is personalization or future pacing. Future pacing works by inviting an individual to imagine what the future will be like once they reach their target. The technique for thinking forward helps individuals make changes by mentally practicing or role-playing how to act in a future situation. The technique has been used in both personal and professional scenarios to assist clients in clarifying their goals and imagining themselves succeeding. Nisha, 2024, Taha and Associates, 2025. This approach works best when used with other NLP tools like reframing, anchoring, or meta-model questioning, depending on the individual or group's needs. For instance, for individuals surmounting emotional obstacles, they may initiate the process with reframing to alter their association with a restrictive belief. YBS and Associates. In contrast, those gearing up for a career progression could gain from employing future pacing to envision the nature of their success in their forthcoming position. Gashi 2024 additionally noted that techniques like anchoring and future pacing assist clients in getting from self-doubt to self-efficacy. These tailored applications make NLP a versatile toolkit, not a one-size-fits-all model for supporting behavioral change, self-awareness, and self-transcendence across diverse environments. The next slide will explain future pacing.
From Bali, Indonesia, from Ubud, you can see the rice fields behind me. The training location is right next door. So I thought I should make a little bit of video for you guys. So how to give a little bit more to your future pacing. A lot of people, when they've just learned practitioner, they kind of look at future pacing more like solidifying it in the brain, do a test, stuff like that. But there's a huge opportunity there. For instance, you could use an anchor alongside as well as foretoppling the experience. To truly associate someone in their future, like reaching a goal or something like that, to really focus on what someone would see, hear, and feel, who would be there, what the other people would be saying, what you say to yourself, to really elicit that state, speed up your voice, put a little bit more power in your voice, use your tonality, inherently do an Oscar-winning performance, to truly step someone into that. Why not combine it with a state elicitation, much like you do to set an anchor? You wait for that point right before it peaks, and you anchor the future pace and the emotion that comes with the future pace. Then you make NLP multifunctional, and you can add it to your own designs.
From individual growth to team culture shift. NLP techniques can begin with the transformation of a single individual and ripple outward to influence an entire team or organizational culture. When individuals learn how to regulate their emotions, challenge internal narratives, and reframe limiting beliefs, they not only grow personally, but also become more effective communicators and collaborators. Taha and Associates 2025. Team dynamics improve when self-awareness is modeled and normalized. For example, when leaders apply NLP tools like the meta model or reframing to facilitate difficult conversations, the result is often a more empathetic and solution-oriented culture. YBS and Associates 2024. Gashi 2024 emphasizes that teams exposed to NLP practices often demonstrate increased emotional regulation and collective problem solving. These shifts support organizational values such as equity, inclusion, and wellness. NLP for inclusion and perspective. NLP supports inclusion by helping individuals become more aware of their internal biases and shifting those beliefs through reframing techniques. When a person learns to identify a negative pattern or assumption, they can begin to challenge and replace it with a more constructive, inclusive belief. In organizational settings, this creates space for a more profound understanding across diverse teams. As described before, NLP's power lies in its ability to increase personal awareness while building emotional regulation and openness, traits essential for leaders and employees working in culturally sensitive environments. Taha and Associates 2025, Gashi 2024, YBS and Associates 2024. Techniques such as anchoring and mirroring can support better communication, while meta-modeling questioning challenges and assumptions that may otherwise go unchecked in group dynamics. Nisha 2024. By applying NLP intentionally, organizations can develop cultures rooted in curiosity, empathy, and connection. What the research reads. Research across multiple studies supports the use of neuro-linguistic programming (NLP) as a pathway to self-awareness and behavioral change. Garcia-Romeo 2010 connected practices like NLP to Maslow's concept of self-transcendence, describing how tools that promote introspection and reframing could lead individuals to operate from a higher sense of purpose. Similarly, Nisha 2024 emphasized how techniques such as future pacing and anchoring allowed participants to recognize their emotional triggers and adjust behaviors in alignment with personal or organizational goals. These methods helped individuals build confidence and enhance their ability to communicate, particularly in high-stress environments. Other studies have focused on how NLP strengthens internal regulation and promotes resilience. Gashi 2024 noted that visualization exercises contributed to increased emotional awareness and greater goal-orientation of participants. Taha and Associates 2025 observed that reframing and anchoring led to improved classroom performance and relationships building skills among students. Outcomes have direct application in workplace settings. IBS and Associates 2024 explored how NLP can supplement traditional therapy methods by reducing depressive symptoms and increasing a sense of self-control. While the studies vary in design, they all point to the same conclusion. NLP provides individuals with accessible, practical tools to shift mindset, behavior, and ultimately long-term outcomes. Growth is a pattern you can learn. One of the key advantages of NLP is that its objective is to replace beliefs and behaviors, which in turn bring about change. Gashi 2024, Taha and Associates 2025. These are simple steps that will help attendees in and out of the workplace environment. When attendees see the benefits, they're more apt to participate and practice the methods on their own. NLP interventions enhance productivity and enable individuals to become more aware of their abilities while also strengthening their mental development. This aligns with Maslow's higher developmental requirements as is supported by transpersonal principles, Garcia Romeo 2010. When integrating the organizational consulting, these techniques can bridge individual development with organizational goals. Starting small, shifting big. NLP is flexible and can be tailored to fit your specific needs. It does not require a specific set of beliefs or a particular background. Instead, it meets individuals where they are and encourages them to grow. Individuals often learn more and delve deeper than they anticipated when they learn how to respond differently, communicate more effectively, or change their way of thinking. Even small internal shifts can lead to significant changes in how a person presents themselves in the world. These techniques help pave the way for meaningful change, even if it starts small in a classroom, a training room, or a boardroom.